Hello, my Teaserking family. Well. Just straight up. Little hiccup at 4 in the morning, and then 6, and then the U.S. no 8 o'clock, no 10 o'clock drop, and in fact the U.S. is buying heavily. So 29.74 on our way to 3,000, and silver. Now I heard from you silver guys, 33 is the key point, and I argue it's 35. Um, And it's really when comex blows up. Hey, Pat, silver shorts are broken. Well, that's why we see silver 33. We also see gold just about knocking at 3,000's doorstep. So just for you, Luke, we're getting there. I was talking to Alyssa about this yesterday. About 29.75. By the time we're done, we might be at 3,000. And I bought her a quarter ounce of gold. Well, I'd given her one, and it was like $350. And now I said to her, now it's $850. And I said, it's just, you got to be patient. I said, you're in the proper, we knew all along gold and silver were the proper places to be in. But people like Luke are going, oh, wait, the price isn't going up fast enough, or it's not going to go up. But you're explaining the different variables. And the different variables is BRICS, and the dollar being hyperinflated by Biden spending $10 trillion at a shot. There's no more petrodollar. There's no more FX. All the BRICS countries are trading amongst themselves. So China's not buying dollars to go to India and buy stuff, or is India going to Russia? They're just trading amongst themselves. So all those FX dollars are heavily inflated because you printed them and now they're coming back. You can't print all those dollars and have, it's good if the Ponzi scheme's still working. You still have to buy petrol oil. All the oil has to be bought in dollars to Saudi Arabia. Well, that's not on the table anymore. And all these other countries can realize what only our class seems to be able to realize. It's monopoly money. And why would you want it? And, that's how I look at a job now. If you go to work, and you're getting paid in dollars, you're a sucker because it's not worth anything. But if you use the dollar to buy gold and silver with, then that's a different story. So talk to me about silver shorts, Pat. What are you seeing in Singapore? For those you don't know, Pat lives in Singapore, heavily into gold and silver. So what does that mean? It means they have to cover their shorts, right? And they need physical to cover it, which they don't have, which I'm pretty much plugged into. I don't believe there's any gold or silver left. I believe the 200,000 tons of gold is gone. If you want gold, you come to us and we're gonna sell you our gold, but it's gonna be for 10 grand. And a lot of people are gonna need gold. As you can see, the stock market crashing, Bitcoin crashing. Oh, a big surprise there. And you just need you're gonna need it. And then as the realization of all the dollars are worthless and the only money is gold and silver, this is the frenzy I was talking about when I said, well, gold at least 20,000 an ounce, anticipating this frenzy, which we're getting now, and the same in silver. 1,000 an ounce is anticipating the frenzy, gold being too high, and I better buy silver. They are fed. What does that mean, Pat? They are fed. Or did you misspell something there? So the way that the comex works is it's all on derivatives. Now, I did a look on what is a derivative. I was trying to explain it to Alyssa. And it's really not that easy to define, but we'll do our best. All right, so here's in Google a gold derivative. Where's the it's on, I love it. It's like Disneyland, moneyland.ch or whatever. So I found this definition, which is not very easy to follow. I like when they give it to you in like cartoon form. Like, here's a derivative. It's mostly an option. The Fed is screwed. Well, yeah, we knew that. It's just now they're getting called probably by Russia and China. They're fed up with Trump and all these tariffs and everything else. They're saying, well, okay, fine. You want to play? We'll play, which is what I think's happening. Now, the question is this Trump thing planned or not planned? Is he doing the tariffs to blow up the system, to turn it into gold? I mean, he can't be this stupid. Tariffs would never work. You're going to raise costs. Well, it's platinum. It's going to explode. Why? Tell me why platinum. Platinum's not money. It must be highly in demand. Is platinum highly in demand? So you got to make a case here, Pat. What's it needed for? All right. Definition. A gold derivative is a derivative which is based upon the value of gold, which makes no sense. Unlike gold certificate, gold derivatives such as gold warrants, gold options, and gold futures are not title deeds and do not entitle the holder to physical gold. So this is all paper gold. And that's what our point was. So they're kind of warrants and options. They are simply investment vehicles which allow investors to speculate on gold prices. So you got to be out of your fucking mind to play these derivatives. Gold derivatives can be used to speculate on the future value of gold, but you're not going to get the true value of it. They allow for cheaper and more efficient investment in gold prices. I don't know that they're more efficient. And are they really cheaper? Well, if you're not getting the physical, you don't have anything. Because they do not require the changing of gold ownership. But isn't the whole point of we want to own the gold, not paper? It's important to note, however, that gold derivatives are simply contracts based on the value of gold, which we don't know what the value is. They do not serve as title deeds and do not entitle their holder to physical gold. If the issuer of derivatives becomes insolvent, that derivative may become worthless, which is what happens 99% of the time. At least that for when JP Morgan has it. This guy's a personal finance expert. Ooh, maybe we should ask him. Oh, it's Switzerland. Okay, so it can't be that bad if it's Swiss. So that's what a derivative is. So it's kind of an option where you're not playing with, it's a paper and you don't have physical and you can't get physical and it's a joke. Avoid the paper at all times. Pat's busy today. Watch platinum. The charts are telling me they have been hammering platinum. It only exists in Russia. Really, it only exists in Russia. Well, I don't like watching charts. Too many variables in charts. So tell me, Batman, what are charts? What are platinum used for? They've been hammering platinum. I don't know what that means. It only exists in Russia. I almost don't believe that, but okay. You tell me that they don't have them in Canada if they have them in Russia? But again, what's the demand for it? An omelet with blueberries and blackberries. So this is the price, and this is the demand, and this is the price. This is the demand. So what is the demand for platinum? Where is it? What is it used for? And then what's the price? Where? So are these lined up, or is the demand up here and the price down here? Talk to me about this. What is it? They have been keeping the price down for many years. The demand is purely industrial. Again, what is it used for? Is there demand for it? We're going into a depression. Not going to be a lot of demand for anything at this point. Who's demanding it? It's made in Russia, which we can't use. So, well, let's take a look. Let us try to help out, Pat. Let's take a look at first what stocks are doing. 32 minutes ago, stock market today, Dow slipped with latest tariff threats, inflation data. Well, I thought the inflation data was good. Stock slide as worries about Trump tariffs persist. Okay, first of all, the stocks are sliding because of the inflation that they don't want to tell you about. The Trump tariffs haven't even really started. And what are they about? Steel and aluminum? I mean, is it going to affect Apple and Amazon and Microsoft? I don't know. Why is it so hard to find, like, what's the stock price? NASDAQ failed. Trump threatens Europe tariffs. What is Trump really doing? What is the current stock market doing today? Live. I don't have that. I got yesterday 42.8. What is the market status for today? Mongo don't know. Should I pull out of the stock market? 3 years ago, you should have been out of the stock market. See, I'm foreseeing everything, right? So I'm 5 steps ahead. So people who aren't selling their stocks when I first started doing this 3-4 years ago, now you understand why I said it. But at the time, gold wasn't going up, stocks weren't going down. Now you understand, because you can't time it. It just happens to be there. There's not much known about platinum, and that's why I like it as a wild card. All the news is rubbish. It's got nothing to do with tariffs. The whole debt bubble is imploding. It's the inflation is why the stocks are going down, the houses are going down, and the money's worthless. So what is the stock price today? 41. Okay, stocks. I believe this is good. 41,911, down 890. I assume this is today. Why is it so hard to find U.S. stock market today? I don't know what I'm looking at. Dow S&P 500. Yeah, tariffs bullshit. I love how they use tariffs as the excuse because it's Trump's. U.S. stocks fell on Thursday as economic concerns grew and investors digested the latest inflation data. You don't even know what the inflation data is. All right, here we go. Dow at 40,888, down 472. See, this way they can blame Trump. If you're doing tariffs, gold touches fresh records. Analysts see pricing climbing as high as 3,500. How about 10,000, dear? Get your stuff right. Anyway, so we see the market at 48 40,878, soon to be 30,000. So I asked my friend who doesn't understand what gold is, and he's got his 401k retirement. And we've just watched it go from 44,000. It's now, let's call it 41,000. I says, at what point are you going to get worried? And at what point are you going to get out of your 401k before it goes down to 30,000? Before the market's at 30,000, or is it going to be 20,000 that you're going to start realizing your retirement is worthless? You could have been in gold and you could have been in, but now gold's going to cost you 3,000. So you better hurry up. All right. So that's the market. Let's look at my FX rate. The euro is now 92. So the dollar is slipping heavily. Although the euro is no bargain either. It's worthless. I love how compared to the euro, it's good. Let's see. Russia, 86.35. This used to be 110. So now it's 86.35. So when I have to give Daria rent, it's 27,000 rubles. So I was giving her $300. Now I got to give her 312, but still nothing to worry about. All right. Now the question is platinum. All right. What is platinum used for? Platinum is a versatile precious metal. It is not money. It is not gold or silver. With diverse, I don't know why it's not precious metals. With diverse applications, including catalytic converters. Also, it's used in cars. Do they still use catalytic converter in cars? In vehicles, so catalytic in jewelry. Thank you. I'm buying gold and silver. Industrial catalysts and medical devices like pacemakers. And is also used in electronics, dentistry, and as a bullion investment. It isn't bullion. Catalytic converters, platinum, palladium, and rhodium. So those have prices based on these cars. Well, you know what's going to happen to the cars, though? They're not going to make that many because people aren't going to be able to afford them. So I wouldn't be that. Fuel cell electric vehicles, platinum acts as a catalyst in a chemical reaction to produce powers and FCE electric vehicles, which use hydrogen as a fuel. So a little bit with cars. Car market's going down because people can't afford them. It's too expensive. Banks can't loan any money because they don't have any to loan. So I'd be careful with that. Electronics is used in the production of optical fibers and LCDs. I have no idea what that is. Turbine blades. Platinum is used in the production of turbine planes. Spark plugs. Platinum is used for spark plugs. Medical applications, pacemakers, dental fillings. We use platinum for dental fillings now. I know we don't use gold anymore, although I do have gold in my bridges. Jewelry. Platinum is a popular choice for jewelry due to its purity, strength, durability, rarity, and cheaper than gold. Investment. Platinum is also used as a bullion investment. Similar to that's not true. That's bullshit. Cancer treatment. Just don't eat and you'll be fine. Platinum uses that surprise you. Okay. Platinum is a range of uses, including electronics, automotive, we already talked about. What is the main use for platinum? Platinum has a range of uses. Okay, as we talked. So it's the same thing. Which metal is 30 times rarer than gold? Platinum and palladium are 30 times rarer than gold, but they're not money. So I'm not running into platinum. What is the cost of platinum today? No, I know the news on stocks are bullshit. Absolutely. So, what's platinum today? Where is platinum found now? Ah, you're wrong, Pat. Platinum is primarily found in South Africa, specifically in the Bushveld complex region, with other significant deposits in Russia and Canada, as I thought, and smaller amounts in the US. So this is Russia, Canada, and South Africa. Shame on you. You got to take a time out, Pat. You didn't tell us good information. You just said Russia. Um, Platinum exists in higher abundances on the moon and in meteorites. Oh, so that's why we're going to the moon to get platinum? Platinum is found. Okay. How much is 1 ounce of platinum worth today? $987. So, do I spend $987 with whatever the premium is? Let's call it $1,100. Or do I buy $1,100 worth of silver, or do I buy a 1/4 ounce of gold? Now, my first thought would be 1/4 ounce of gold. My second thought would be $1,100 in silver, and my last thought would be platinum. I don't see why platinum is going to go. So explain that to me, Batman. Why is platinum? What did you say? The charts are telling me. What charts? What are the variables in your charts? So I don't buy where platinum's going to explode based on what. They have been keeping the price down. So is this, I assume, on comex? But are they derivatives? Are they taking physical on it? Again, do you actually go to comex to buy it, or would you just go to Russia or South Africa and buy it, or Canada? Would you go to the mines? Why go to, comex is not set up to take inventory of. It's not a physical thing. There is not much known about platinum, and that's why I like it as a wild card. I would say, I just told you what it is, and I don't buy it as a wild card. All the news is rubbish. That we know. We don't listen to news. We listen to the professor. However, the mining industry in South Africa is wiped out. The vast majority is mined in Russia. So there's mostly in Russia. You have some in Canada. Let's say South Africa's gone, and then there's a little in the U.S. Okay. So you got a roughly $1,000 spot on it, and let's say it's comex, where they're doing the derivatives to keep the price down. Okay, I'll agree with that, but at what point, who's taking delivery of it? It's not a precious metal. It is not gold and silver, which are money. So I have a hard time not buying gold and silver to buy platinum. You got to stick with the winner. So I think, I don't know if it was you or somebody else who asked me, should I sell my silver for gold, or my gold for silver? And I said, absolutely not, because gold's going. Yes, purely derivatives, and hasn't really moved in 10 years, going sideways. But you're not going to get the same thing from BRICS wanting platinum. All right. Oh, yeah, catalytic converters, a little jewelry, but I'm buying gold and silver. If gold's too expensive, I'm buying silver. I'm not buying platinum. I think there is platinum wedding rings, but who the fuck, you get gold? I mean, diamonds are cheap because now they're lab made, so you can buy those. I don't see why I'm buying it. I don't see where we know gold going to 5,000 up to 20,000. We know silver's jumping to 1,000. I don't know what platinum's going to do. And I don't know why, because the car industry sales will be getting tanked. Even if it's electric cars, the sales will be getting tanked because there's really no reason for it, because silver is, gold and silver are real money. and people are taking delivery on comex. I'm not aware where people are taking delivery on platinum. It used to be double the price of gold. Well, that's yeah. What am I going to say? It's $1,000. Gold's 3,000. I think enough said. I think if you want something cheap, you just jump on silver. So you're not making a good enough story for me to buy that and not gold or silver. I mean, if gold's too expensive, like I did, I just ran out and bought 10 ounces of silver. If I could buy a quarter ounce of gold for about $8.50. It's gold, and now gold's worth 3 times as much. So it might go up, but it's not gonna. You're not getting me off of gold and silver for this, because again, it's not money. It might be a precious metal, but it's not money, and I don't know how limited it is. Well, let's take a look. It's ounces, I assume. So let's play the game with Pat. How many ounces of platinum are there? It is estimated there are only about 200 million ounces of platinum above ground, significantly less than the estimated 5 billion ounces of gold. So gold's 200,000 tons. I'm not sure it's 5 million. So platinum's very rare, but it's not money. And then it goes to supply and demand. Well, we know the demand for gold and we know the price. So if we know gold's here and the price is here, it's going to go up. Platinum is less. What's the price? Is the price equal? You're saying no. So we got a $1,000 price. We've got 200 million ounces, maybe 300 million. I think that's what, 100 tons, 1,000 tons, 32,000 ounces in a ton. We got 200 million here. So let's say it's 300, and 3.2 million would be 1,000 tons. No, is that right? I don't know. I'll have to do the math. Platinum versus gold rarity compared to the nearly 1,700 tons of gold mined, only about 133 tons of platinum are mined annually. It is estimated that there are more than 5 billion ounces of gold above ground. There are only estimated 200 million ounces. I hate when they do that. I want to know how many tons. There's 200,000 tons. I don't want to know what. I don't want to hear it in ounces. Okay, yeah, obviously less. Okay, but there's two parts of the equation. Supply is down here, but where's demand? Where's our demand for this? So we know the gold supply is up here. We know the platinum supply is down here. We know the gold demand's through the roof, but COMEX is still here. What is platinum? What is the demand for platinum, being that it's not money? And if it's just used for catalytic converter, are people using it to buy money? No, because it isn't. So you're buying gold and silver. Okay, fine. So, so what is the other side of the equation is demand. You can say, yeah, it is limited, but I show you a 99 count Barry Sanders card, and then there's a 99 count Dan Marino card, and a 99 count Joe Smith card. Well, they're all 99, but that Barry's going to be more expensive than Marino, and they're both going to be more expensive than Joe Smith. who nobody knows. So just because it's limited, do you have the demand for it? Prophet, how are you? So that's really what the question is, Pat. What is the demand for platinum? We know the demand for gold cannot be met, and the demand for silver cannot be met, right? There's not enough supply to meet the demand. Is there enough demand to do the same with platinum? Yes, purely derivatives and hasn't really moved in 10 years. It used to be double okay, okay. So that's where we're at. So it really doesn't, it's if it's using catalytic converters with automobiles, who cares? Because nobody's making autos in a depression. And then you've got, what else is it? It's jewelry. Are you buying that over silver? So you got your girlfriend, your wife, you want to buy her something for anniversary or birthday. You buying platinum? Probably buying the lab made diamond for her, or a nice ruby, or maybe, I don't know if you're buying gold. Most girls want jewelry, not gold. Okay, maybe a gold chain. I don't know, but that's going to be expensive. So that's the question. So we will see. All right. So tariffs and inflation. So what do we hear? The stock market is going down because Trump's tariffs. Does that case hold water? I'm doing my cousin Vinny now. Does it hold water? And I'm going to say no. Because they haven't even taken effect yet. It's really outside the U.S. It's more expense to Canada, Mexico, and China, and not to us. Are they able to mark their stuff up? So if steel's $100 and the tariff's 20, are they now going to say steel's 120? You're going to have to pay my tariff, or are we not going to buy from them? We'll go buy from Norway and Sweden. Just because we've been buying from them doesn't mean we have to keep buying from them. This is all of Trump's flaws in his little. Now he's an economist. But the biggest thing I say is you cannot control prices. You can't simply, well, we got to pay more. We're gonna charge more in prices. We've been through this enough with inflation, and there's really no difference between inflation and tariffs. Both are making it cost more for the producer. Coca-Cola, Oreos, Pop-Tarts, bicycles, tennis rackets, golf clubs. Your costs went up. It doesn't matter. Do you have a market at the new cost? And I've used the Toyota Camry example a lot. Inflation hit, they mark it up to 35,000. They don't have one buyer. So now what's he going to do? He's got inventory he can't sell. And I went in and I was getting my oil changed, and I told him, your market's here, and I bought it at 24,000. You've moved to 35,000. The market's still here. You can't do that. You have to sell it at market if you want to sell it. You can say my costs went up, and you can say I got to sell it for 40, but the market's saying I'm going to give you 24, and if you don't like it, too bad. So just because costs are going up, and we don't know if they're going to go up because of tariffs, we know Canada, Mexico, and China, it's going to cost them more to ship in here. Doesn't necessarily mean they're able to pass the cost on. That's always the hard part. Are they able to pass the cost on? And then if they do, so now GM has to pay more for the steel. We just saw they can't pass that price on to a GM, whatever they make now, the Corvette. They can't make it more expensive because they had to pay more, because that's what the whole thing is with inflation. There's no difference in inflation prices and tariff prices. It's the cost to the company goes up, and you either lay off people or you raise your prices, and you can't raise your prices because due to the inflation, our money isn't going as far, and therefore your only out really is to is to cut costs, is to cut labor because you can't sell. Everybody thinks, well, our prices will go up because their costs go up. It doesn't work that way. This is what frustrates me. It's the market that controls the price, not the producer. So GM or Camry or the guy at the barbecue place, you can mark your ribs at $45. Doesn't mean anybody's going to buy them there. We control the price. And if we're already getting hit by the inflation, we are not sitting there going, oh, we're getting hit by the inflation. So therefore, yeah, well, where am I getting extra money from? And especially if I'm like 99% of the people in America and I don't understand gold and silver and I got my money in the stock market and I'm watching it go down and down and down. And I got Bitcoin and I'm watching it go down, down, down. I got my money in the bank. I'm watching it go out. So that's really the key to it is you cannot, just because your costs go up, do the pricing. And that's the whole point of a free market economy. You cannot price fix it. Look at comex is blowing up because they're trying to price fix it. The problem in these other countries like Venezuela, where the shelves are empty, is because he price fixes it and nobody can make it for that price. So the producer can't sell it. Like, so you're trying to sell Oreo cookies in the grocery store and they show the shelves are empty. Well, that's got nothing to do with the consumer. That's the producer. I make an Oreo cookies. It costs me $5. You're saying I can only get 2 on the shelf. I'm not going to make it because I'm going to lose $3 for every thing of Oreos that I sell. Well, then why would I sell it? That's why the shelves are empty, because of the price controls. That's why they don't work. You've got to let the market run the prices, not the government. The government can never have price controls. It'll never, ever, ever, ever work. It can't work. It's impossible. So just because there's tariffs and just because there's inflation, it doesn't mean prices are going up. Prices only go up if the market will let it, and we won't let it. Like I said, the Camry at 35,000 and nobody bought it. He had to lower it down to 26,000. Me and Alyssa went to the grocery store yesterday, and Coke was buy 2 for $5. So now the price actually went down to $2.50 if you bought 2. Not going up. It actually went down from $3 to $2.50, but she had to buy 2. But she'll drink the 2. I won't. I'm not into pop too much. I like it, but not good for you. So again, we control the market, right? And therefore, you can't. That's why you got to be careful of costs going up. That's why you run out of producers, because they sit there and they go, "Well, I can't." I like using my Canadian club. I can only sell it for 50, but it costs me 60 now because of tariffs, because of inflation. Cost me 60. But I could only, I can only sell it for 50. The market says they'll only pay 50 for it. Bye-bye. I have to go out of business because I can't make profit, which is why we're all in business. I can't make profit because I can't make that and sell it for a profit. And that is what people don't freaking get. All these Keynesians don't get it. So I was on LinkedIn fighting with some guy, and he's like, well, that $50,000 car is now $62,500. And I said, no, it isn't. Just because his cost went up doesn't mean the price goes up. And then he's like arguing with me, well, you don't think prices will go up? I says, no, I don't think any price will go up. It's already gone up because of the inflation, which is not 2%. That's the other idiotic thing. They think inflation is 2%. Okay, inflation's not even measured because it's got nothing to do with prices. Inflation is money supply, period. You printed too much money, it's worthless, period. There is no let's look at the prices. And if you would go back to 1971 when the idiot took us off the gold standard because you printed more money than you had gold and you didn't raise the gold price. So we could have got out of it in 71 by making the gold price go from 35 to 500. And then we would have had enough money and we wouldn't have had to get off of gold. But France forced us off of gold because they wanted their gold back. So if you're going to measure inflation, it's Oreo cookies are a dime in 1971 are now $5 now. That is not 3%. And I can't go back to last year and the Oreo cookies were $5 and they're $5 this year. No, because that's when the price increase took, but that doesn't, again, that's meaningless. So what you have is inflation is not prices, right? It's money supply, and yet they'll try to tell you that. Just like gold and silver are not priced right. The market's pricing them much higher than what the actual price on the paper price is. And we're going to see, we might see I told you by Friday, we'll see $3,000 gold. And I'm going to be really close, 29.75. It just shot up at 10 o'clock. There was no U.S. doing derivatives. So I think maybe they're done with it because, again, they got to cover all those shorts they did on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are getting killed. And they got to come up with the physical gold. And that's going to cost them a ton of money. These banks are all going out. So if you have your money in JP Morgan, Chase, or Goldman Sachs, you better run to the exits because they're going to go out. The clearest indication was that Jamie Dimon, the president, the biggest mafia guy at JP Morgan, is stepping down because he's crooked and he knows that they don't have the gold to cover all the derivatives, so they're fucked. So they're going to show this huge loss. Warren Buffett, on the other hand, sold a bunch of shares of Bank of America because maybe they're a bullion bank too. All the bullion banks are fucked because they got to cover the derivatives because everybody's taking physical delivery because nobody wants paper crap. Nobody wants. Where did my dollar go? Nobody wants this monopoly money. It's funny, Alyssa was here yesterday and she says, why is all the money ripped up? I go, that's the value of it now. The value of $1 is worth 1 cent. So nobody wants this. Believe me, all the bankers, central bankers understand it. The brokers don't. Although they're just salesmen getting commission. But the central banks it's all illegal. Nobody should have a central bank. Causes wars, causes inflation, printing money. It's all corrupt. It's I don't know if it's legal or not. It's not legal in the U.S. because the Constitution says there shall be no central banks and the money has to be gold and silver. Well, how the fuck do we got this shit in a central bank is beyond me. But that's what they knew would happen, right? Give John Hancock a little bit of credit. He knew. So now we're at today. We see gold going up, and they're trying to, it's Trump's tariffs. No, Trump's tariffs haven't even taken effect yet. No. Yeah, they will cause it, but they're not going to cause any more problems than the inflation is already causing. All the prices have gone up, and a lot of them are coming back down because people are just simply saying, no, I'm not going to pay for it. So we're always the market. So to me, tariffs and inflation are the same. They're increased costs for the manufacturer, and the market just says, sorry. So I don't see any costs going up, any prices going up different than the inflation we have, right? So what, the houses are going to raise their value? They can't. What do you think, GM's going to raise their value because the steel is more? Nobody's buying them now. Nobody's buying cars now because they're too expensive. You got massive interest rates, which are going up because the market controls the interest rates. If I feel that, should I lend you $1,000 of this bullshit? Well, okay, you pay me back $1,000 next year, but wait a minute. If I get inflated money, I'm only going to get $800 back for the $1,000 I gave you. It's a pretty good deal for the borrower. It's a terrible deal for the lender. So I got to charge you like 10% interest because I need to get $1,100 back for the $1,000 I'm giving you to make it worth my time of lending you the money. Otherwise, I'm better off selling the money, putting it into gold and silver. Why would I lend you money? Now I'm a bank, so I have to, maybe. And that's what you got to look at. Do the banks have to lend the money out? they don't really have a choice because they need revenue, and that's their revenue is lending out their money or I guess buying what stocks. No, that's not going to help them. Buying gold. Yeah, well, that's where they're all going. All the central banks are buying gold, right? Profit. Who is Trump's economic advisor now? I think he should apply for that job. Well, yeah, I agree with you. It's that Soros guy. I don't know, Stenson Benson or whatever. He's a Soros. He worked for Soros, and it's a giant red flag to hire somebody who used to work for Soros. I think it's Bassett, who used to work for Soros, to put him in charge of our thing. He will listen to what Soros says, not what's best for America. And Soros wants to collapse America, so we're all fucked. Hence why you have to buy gold and silver. If you listen to Soros, you're fucked anyway. So really, that's what's going on. As a Soros guy, I just, I think he's a Nazi, this Bassett. So do you really want to trust the Nazis? Well, it's like Soros is a Nazi, so we don't want to trust him. And how he's a U.S. citizen when Hungary wouldn't take him in because he helped the Nazis during the war, but we just overlook it. I don't know. He must have paid a pretty penny to be a citizen. So what else? Let's switch a little to NFL free agency. So I'm not into platinum. It might be rarer than gold, but it's not money, and therefore I don't want anything to do with it. Let's see. Free agency. Has Aaron Rodgers gone free agent yet? They're making a big mistake by not signing him, thinking he's all done, or why should we do anything? 2025 NFL free agents, live, rumors, trades, drafts, and more, including latest on Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. Let's see. Top 25 available free agents. That's not my top 25, so I don't know. Frank Schwab, never heard of the guy. The biggest name still out there is Aaron Rodgers, or Aaron Rodgers, who's officially being released by the Jets. Will be designated as a post-June first cut, which saves the Jets $7 million, but still leaves them with a $49 million overall dead money charge, including 35 dead cap. Why are you letting him? You have Justin Fields. So I'm going to make this prediction. If Justin Fields is the Jets's quarterback next year with the coach they got, who is a moron, so the defense is going to suck and their offense is going to suck. I will say this. The Jets will get the number one pick in the draft. They will win at most 3 games between Fields and the coach from the Lions. At most, they'll win is 3 games. Maybe 4. They can. I don't know if they can beat New England now. That maybe Miami. They can't beat Buffalo. And then we got to look at their schedule. But really, the only teams they could probably beat with Fields and the defensive coordinator of the Lions as their coach would be Carolina, probably Tennessee, Jacksonville. I don't know how bad Oakland is. The Bears, the Giants, maybe if they play them. And I'm not. And that's assuming the team now. But if Tennessee gets a good draft, or if they get a good coach, New England with Vrabel will be more competitive. I don't like Drake May. They're making Drake May into this good quarterback. He's not. He's terrible. It's increasingly looking like the Steelers are bust for Rodgers. Well, what about Minnesota and Dallas and Oakland, who reportedly has an offer on the table from the team? The Giants are still reportedly waiting on his decision, too. Either way, Rodgers is the next major domino. Well, why would he go to the Giants? I can understand him going to the Steelers, but really he should go to Minnesota or Dallas. Minnesota's not winning with J.J. McCartney. The guy sucked at Michigan. All he did was hand the ball off. They ran 60 times a game. He's not a good quarterback. I don't know what you're looking at to make me think he's a good quarterback. I think they played Georgia in a playoff game and they got shut out. I don't buy him. I don't know what they see in him. I watched him at Michigan for a couple years and thought, I don't recall betting too many Michigan games because J.J. McCartney was the quarterback. That's how we look at everything. And Russell Wilson's like the next one. He's reportedly meeting with both the Browns and the Giants. Really? Oh, my God. I don't know how anybody can go to the Giants. I mean, I don't know how you go to the Browns. Poor Russell. And if one of these quarterbacks needy teams is left empty-handed, could he trade for the Falcons' Kirk Cousins? Who would want Kirk Cousins? He showed you he sucks at Minnesota, and then he shows you he sucks at Atlanta. Michael Penix comes in, he's their starter. So what would you do with Kirk Cousins? Let's see. Patriots release, I don't know, some center. Former Jets Mark Gastineau suing ESPN for $25 million over viral confrontation video with Brett Favre. I don't know. Why would he sue? I don't know why they'd show it. There are still plenty of talented players to be signed to. Where's this guy living? There's very few good players in free agency. That's why they're free agents. If they were really good, the team would keep them, right? Here are the best remaining NFL free agents behind Rodgers. Number 2, tackle Melky Becton. Who? And don't forget the NFL draft also isn't far off. Cam Ward is going. Now, is Dagio Pava in the draft? Why don't we ask that question? No, Vanderbilt quarterback that is not in the 2025 NFL draft. So he'll be returning to Vanderbilt for the 25 season after a court ruling granted him an additional year. I think that's a big mistake. He's, I think, the best quarterback in the draft. I would take him over any of these clowns, especially to go back to Vanderbilt. I'm not quite following that. All right, where am I? So we can't get the best quarterback. So I don't buy Cam Ward or Prime Jr. as the best to draft, in the draft right now. The kid out of Texas State and the kid out of North Texas are much better if they're in the draft. I mean, it's so confusing now. They're like seniors and they're still not in the draft. I mean, they're playing 6-7 years of college football. I think it's because of COVID. But I don't know why Pavia wouldn't. He'd be the first quarterback drafted. I saw yesterday where they're saying how good Joe Milton is. I'm like, that guy stinks. He stunk at Michigan. Then he goes to Tennessee where he stunk there. So some of these, they're like just trying to pick a name out of a hat. Well, how about Joe Milton? I'd rather have Hendon Hooker. Oh, well, Joe Milton's got a big arm. What team does he throw to? I did. That's why he wasn't on the field. Then they're trying to say, who was it? Yeah, maybe Joe Milton's on New England or something, but he looked good in preseason. Yeah, against four stringers. Then he looked good in the Buffalo game at the end of the year when Buffalo was resting all their players. So what do you want me to take out of that? He's good because in the preseason against fourth stringers, did he look good? I mean, come on. Let's see. Defensive end Joe Uchi reportedly signs with the Eagles, who have lost Brendan Graham and Josh Sweat. This is the problem when you win the Super Bowl. He was with the Eagles last year, so I don't see the problem. Josh Sweat's going to be a big loss for the Eagles. Brandon Graham, I don't know who that is. Uchi, 26, played 13 games last season with New England and Kansas City. Oh, he wasn't on Philly. 23 tackles, 2 for loss. Yeah, okay, that'll be a great help. Mason Rudolph returning to the Steelers. Oh, happy days. Oh my God. That's it. You've got it. Patriots release center. Who cares? Those are meaningless. Adam Thielen restructures contract, will return to Panthers. Why would you restructure to return to the fucking Panthers? Delvin Tomlinson gets $16 million from the Cardinals. He's a defensive tackle. Must be nice. Mac Jones to the 49ers. Are you serious? Mac Jones sucks. San Francisco at its next backup quarterback. The 49ers reached a 2-year, $7 million. That's way too much. With Mac Jones on Wednesday night, according to the NFL. Jones, who was the New England with the 15th overall pick of 2021's now. That was a great draft pick, wasn't it? Mike Williams returns to the Chargers. The longtime Charger always stuck a 1-year deal or $6 million. Williams split time between the Jets's and the Steelers last season. Didn't do anything. Oh, wow. A whopping 21 receptions. Saints, Cam Jordan restructures contract, will return. Now he's good. That we've heard of. Vikings veteran safety Harrison Smith to play for. God, I didn't know he was that old. He's very good. Eagles adding running back that by saying A.J. Dillon. He's not good. You're not going to take Barkley out. Not sure I understand that. Panthers to sign Rico Dowdell from the Cowboys. What a waste of time. You got to get rid of Steve Young. That's your first problem. Jets release linebacker C.J. Mosley. Who the hell is that? I don't know. If he's not from Georgia, we don't really care. Cowboys pick up linebacker Kenneth Murray from the Titans. You know it's hurting when you got to go to the Titans for a player. DeMarcus Lawrence is in Seattle. Spends his entire career with the Cowboys. Had an injury. Was out all of last year. Darius Slay, big play. Slay gets 1 year, $10 million deal with the Steelers. Wow. So Philly is losing a lot of key players. This third or fourth defensive player on a team that relies on its defense. And this is not Darius Slay, 1 year, $10 million is not a lot of money for an all-pro like him. Browns signing defensive tackle Malik Collins. Yeah, whatever. Broncos signing tight end Evan Ingram to $23 million. This guy sucks in Jacksonville, really. He had 47 catches for 365 yards. Jesus. Russell Wilson meeting with Browns and Giants. Aaron Rodgers caught by that's how stupid the Jets are. You're just cutting Aaron Rodgers and you got to eat $35 million in salary. You could either play him because you don't have a quarterback, or you could maybe trade him. I don't know why everybody's so against Aaron Rodgers. If I was Minnesota or Dallas, I'd be picking him up in a heartbeat, or maybe Oakland. Oakland got who? They got somebody, but I'm. They got Geno Smith. Aaron Rodgers is 10 times better than Geno Smith. Bills send cornerback Kier Elam to the Cowboys for 2 draft picks. Who cares? It's not going to help either team. What does the Steelers just got big play Slay from Philly. So you got I don't know why you're letting Russell Wilson go or Aaron Rodgers should go there. I don't know, beats sitting out. Jimmy Garoppolo, who cares? Too much Aaron Rodgers shit. So most of these teams, Falcons target desperate team for Cousins trade. So that would be Oakland. You're not winning with Geno Smith. He couldn't win with DK Metcalf. He ain't winning in Oakland. Although you do have Brock Bowers and the Notre Dame tight end. Kirk Cousins, terrible. How do you want Kirk Cousins? At what point do you see him as better as Kyle Trask from Tampa or Hooker from Detroit? There's no way he's better than those guys. NFL free agency, all the trades, deals, rumors, and quarterback Mason Rudolph rejoins Steelers. Why? Why did they bring in Fields? They should have just kept Rudolph and not get Fields. Why did they get Fields? I don't know. Fields is terrible. Anyway, that's about all I see there. So all these little like the Bears picked up a couple of offensive linemen. Offensive line, you've got to play together. The Oakland Raiders had Gene Upsaw and the big tackle, who the name escapes me. You play together for years. Joel or Otto, right? Their center Otto 00. He played there for 20 years. Art Shell and Gene Upshaw. That's what it is. So Art Shell, Upshaw played next to each other for 10 years. You can't just pop in a new guard, a new tackle, and okay, we fixed it. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I don't know if that's any better getting them on free agent than drafting them. Not quite sure. If you think the Bears are better because they've added some linemen, no, I don't think so. They still need a running back. And by the way, they still have Caleb. So big trouble there. Yeah, I got it. Art Shell. Thank you, Prophet. So what you have, it's like the Lions are big trouble because they don't have their defensive coordinators. Was the linebacker coach. So yeah, so he's ready to be a defensive coordinator. They don't have the talent in the defense. And from what I hear, Hutchinson's injury is a 3 or 4 year injury. It's not like a broken leg and you're out. Well, like Cam Rising, who was out for a year with his ACL, MCL, whatever. And that's the problem with Hutchinson. He's not going to be available next year. So you've got to, when you get serious injuries in the NFL, you got to just dump the player. It's not like he's going to get back to shape because this is the NFL and it's all physical. Now, if you break your arm or your leg and it heals, those are common that they heal. But if it's something like his injury, Hutchinson, forget about it. He ain't healing. Like they said, the MMA guy took 4 years. He's done. Hutchinson's done. So now what are you going to do? Or he's going to be out there and going at half speed. It's a waste of time. So you've got to be careful with these injured players. And yes, everybody's injured. It's football. It's contact. So it depends on the type of injury. And even if you get a guy that hasn't been injured, Aaron Rodgers is not injured. So I can bring him on, but how long is it going to be? They're making a big mistake with Aaron Rodgers. You can't really look at him on the Jets and make any kind of determination. He looked pretty good once he got into the groove. And again, he had the Achilles, so it took him a while to get back into the groove. He looked fine. There's a lot of good passes he did with Devontae Adams that looked really good. He knows how to win. It's his attitude. If you just massage his attitude right, he'll win. If you're stoic with him. I keep telling Alyssa to be, I keep showing her Marcus Aurelius videos. I said, be strong, be confident. So you can deal with Aaron Rodgers if you're stoic and you just say, this is what I need. Are you okay with that? And he'll say, yeah, I just want to play. I like getting $35 million a year. So you got $35 million reasons to keep him. I don't agree with the Jets just releasing him for nothing. I think you have an asset. That's like selling your gold for nothing. That's like going into the coin store and saying, here, you can have my 1 ounce of gold. You out of your mind? So I don't buy that. I don't buy Russell Wilson. What was wrong with him? He wasn't the problem. You had no running back. Your receivers sucked, and your defense sucked, Pittsburgh. You don't have Joe Green. You don't have Mel Blount. You don't have Jack Ham anymore. You've got to come to that. You've got to come to that conclusion. We don't have these guys anymore. And that's what you need to get. You need to draft Joe Green. You need to draft Jack Ham, Mel Blount, Mike Wagner. That's what you need to do. Oh, I was watching this Battle Royal. It must have been in the mid-'80s. Yeah, it was 86. The Bears had just won the Super Bowl, and they were doing an NFL wrestling battle royal, 20 guys. And you had Jimbo Covert of the Bears. You had the refrigerator off his rookie year, and right after they won the Super Bowl. And you had this Bill Fralick he was on Atlanta, and they were there. And Russ Francis was in there. I don't know why he was doing there. I think it was a regular, like he was a college wrestler or something. So those 4 NFL guys were in it. It was pretty fun. Andre the Giant, of course, won at the end, but it was pretty funny watching it. But that's where you're at. You do not give away gold for nothing, and to just cut Rodgers. Like if you ever watched the movie North Dallas 40 and they end up cutting Nick Nolte or forcing him to retire because he smoked grass at home and it was against the league rules when they gave him like hard drugs to get out of the locker room in Chicago. And they like forced him to quit. And my thought was he had the best hands in the league, according to BA. Why didn't you just trade him to Detroit or something? I didn't. Why would you just let go of an asset for nothing? If you don't like the guy, just trade him. Get somebody in who can take your bullshit. But, it's your childish attitude. Fuck, it's football. What kind of attitude do you want him to have? Does he play? Yes. Is he good on the field catching the balls? Yes. Then what the fuck is your problem? So that's what I think is going on here. Why is Russell Wilson? Why aren't you signing Russell Wilson? He wasn't your problem. Now they hired Big Play Slay, which will help their defense. They need some defensive line help. They need running back help. They did let Najee Harris go. They need wide receiver help badly. How do you not have good wide receivers in the NFL? And the running backs, I don't know where they pick. They need to settle on Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers. Mason Rudolph is not your answer. You certainly can't go with Kirk Cousins, and you certainly couldn't go with the Sam Darnold. And no, Sam Darnold was not the number 1 quarterback in this thing because he had a few good games for Minnesota, and most of their games were close. I mean, it's not like they did much. So that's really what it is. We got the draft coming. Free agency is bullshit. You're really not getting. There's nobody good in free agency. Mahomes is not showing up. Burrow. Most of the good players are either signed or like Chase. He'll be there. They'll they got to negotiate with Chase. I don't know what the hell they're thinking about. The best receiver in the league, you've got to get him, and you got Joe Burrow, so you got to keep Chase. Maybe you go after Jefferson, but he's already on Minnesota, unfortunately. But I don't know if it would work because they're both number ones, right? Chase and Jefferson. But it worked at LSU when they put up 50 points a game. So again, you've got to understand the injuries. A lot of guys who get seriously hurt, which is most of the Lion team, they're not coming back. They're going to come back hurt. They'll get hurt again. One guy I hear on the radio keeps going, "Why do we keep signing hurt players?" And he's not wrong, but who are you going to get now that they play 5-6 years in college? Everybody in the draft's hurt. Some maybe don't have broken legs and they got something else hurt. It's just the nature of the game. They're all hurt. He was saying, well, this guy only played 10 games a year. That's pretty good. To get a guy with 10 games a year in football is, do you think they're going to play all seven? Now it's 17 games with these stupid Thursday nights. Do you think you're going to get somebody to play all 17 games? Are you crazy? Nobody's playing all 17. Very, very rare. And it would be like Mahomes, and it would be like, maybe a Kelsey who doesn't really get hit that much. He kind of plays basketball and he finds the opening and then he falls down and he doesn't really do much. But Mahomes, Burrow played all 17. So a couple of key guys can do it. Brady, except for that 1 year, played all the games. He knew how to slide and not get hit much. But it's got to be a very clever person, but it's only the quarterback. The running backs forget about it. The receivers forget about it. They might play hurt, but they're going to get hurt. They're going to get big hits because that's what the secondary is doing. I look for different secondaries. I think what you're going to see is more running with like Barkley. We got Gentry. We got the kid from Arizona State. Scatterboo, you got the kid from Iowa, Johnson. There's 3 or 4 other running backs that are really good. So there's about 7 running backs that can be drafted that will benefit the team. Like the Bears. If the Bears got Gentry, that would be their best pick. But I don't think they're that smart. But we'll see. But that's what you need. The best thing the Bears could do is Gentry or Scatterboo. And you see, but Keenan Allen is gone. He said, see you later. Romo Ducey's nothing. And then DJ Moore is fine. But do you need to get him 3 highly skilled receivers for Caleb to actually throw the ball and get a completion? I mean, no. I mean, that's where it's getting to. Oh, we need 3 guys to have it. So we'll figure it all out. That's what we do. But it goes down to defense, and then you've got to know your strengths and weaknesses. You cannot let Goff lose games for you. Goff has got to you got to have him handing the ball off and throwing short little passes, not all this gadget bullshit. Prophet, I heard the Raiders are going after Gentry. Well, we'll see. I would draft him ahead of Cam Ward or Prime Jr. That's for sure. I wouldn't. Prime Jr. forget about it. He's not good. Cam Ward, I remember him at Washington State. He's not good. I would go after. I'll show you who I would go after. Let's see. Let's walk through the quarterbacks. I got to go to college. So this is the professor. Why did I hit that? All right, the professor drafting. All right, so we got Cam Ward at 39-7. He throws for 300 yards a game, but it was a big passing offense at Miami. Prime Junior, 37 touchdowns, 10 picks, 42 sacks. Nobody is even close. I mean, the next guy's 23 sacks. There's a 27. Texas guy's 31. I wouldn't take him. Jackson Dart, 28. That's a problem. So he gets a lot of sacks, Prime Junior. And he still threw the 10 interceptions. Will Howard at Ohio State, I think he'd be fine for he'd be a good backup for the Jets, for the Giants, not Minnesota. Kyle McCord, I can't honestly say because he sucked at Ohio State. He lost to Michigan 2 years in a row, so I'm not buying him. At Syracuse, 34-12. Guy I like is Chandler Morris of North Texas. Threw for 3,700 yards, 300 yards a game, 31 touches, 12 picks, and only 12 sacks. This guy is very good. This guy, not in Penix's league, but if you like Drake May, this guy's 5 times better than Drake May. Quentin Ewers, Texas, 31-12, but he got 31 sacks. Chandler Morris, 31-12 with 12 sacks. Quentin Ewers, 31-12 with 31 sacks. He can't read a defense, and he wasn't that good anyway. Jordan McLeod, the guy I think is the number one quarterback, Texas State, 30-13, 17 sacks, throws for 250 a game, and he was a very good runner, but he's a very good passer. I would say he's one. I got Chandler Moore. I got Dylan Gabriel, 30-6 with 21 sacks. I got Curtis Rourke from Indiana, was at Ohio, 29-5. I don't see any problem with that. He's better than Sam Darnold. All right, so Morris, McLeod, Gabriel, Rourke. Better than Sam Darnold, better than Kirk Cousins, not better than Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson, better than Mason Rudolph, better than all this crap. Fields, I mean, what are you kidding me? Better than Steve Young at Carolina. So it's not that hard. There you go. Gabriel at Oregon, Curtis Rourke at Indiana had a huge year, 29-5. LSU, he's returning. Jackson Dart, 29-6. Runs a little too much. I think he's more like whatchamacallit, the guy on New England who sucks. Drake May. I think he's more Drake May. He wants to run. Jackson Dart. Sawyer Robertson, if he's available, excellent quarterback, 28-8, 15 sacks. Like this guy. Baylor wasn't doing much. He came in and he lit it up. Bayron Morton at Texas Tech, 27-8. Very good. Let's put it this way: he's better than Fields and Bryce Young and Drake May. Okay, so we'll say they're either better or worse. So I'm giving you the guys better than those three. Josh Hoover at TCU is okay, 27-11. Malik Murphy was great from Texas to Duke, but he's still in college. South Hennigan, Memphis, you know how good they are, 25-6. Rocco Beck, Iowa State. I don't know that he's coming out. He was 25-9. He's very good. Just needs some more polish. My guy, Owen McCown, UTSA, outstanding, 25-10. But he didn't play the first few games. He's a stud. But again, his father was McCown who played. Very good, though. UTSA, he was putting up 40 points a game. I'd keep an eye on that guy, but I don't know if he's in the draft. Let's see. Drew Aller, Penn State, was Mr. Ohio, 24-8. I don't see enough productivity out of him. Sam Levitt, Arizona State, he's very good, but I don't think he's coming out yet. That was the first year for him, so I'd be surprised. Good quarterback here. Tyler Shaw, Louisville, 23-6, 266 a game. Very good quarterback. He was at TCU, I think, or Texas Tech. I think it was Texas Tech. and he lost it to the other guy, so he went to Louisville, and they were good this year. Joey Aguilar, App State, very good, 23-14. A lot of interceptions, but he had a new coach. He was very good the year prior. Luke Altmaier, Illinois, very good. I don't know if he's coming out. And Peyton Thorne, 21-9. He sucked. Riley Leonard, interesting. He's 21-8, 178 yards, mostly handoff. I don't know what kind of thrower he is. I'm not sold. I don't smell what he's cooking. And then my man Daggio Pavia, 20-4 with 18 sacks, threw for 176, but he ran a lot. He's a winner. If he comes out next year, he should be the first quarterback. Let's take a look at running backs. All right, we'll look at total yards. Now we'll look at yards a game. All right, yards a game. Gentry, Boise, 185 yards, 2,600. He's 1,000 clear of anybody else. And I know we're hearing about this Hampton from North Carolina. I don't smell what he's cooking. 138 yards a game, 15 touchdowns in the weak ACC. Gentry did it at Boise. He had to face Vegas twice and then the playoff game. So he's 29 touchdowns. He's the man. I don't know how he has a 103-yard touchdown unless it was a kickoff return, right? Ty Brooks, Texas Tech, very good. Much better than this Hampton guy. 17 touchdowns, 1,500 yards. He was very good for Texas Tech. Scatterboo, Arizona State, 1,700 yards, 21 touchdowns. This guy is a beautiful red zone runner. Not that he can't run everywhere, but if you got the ball at the 6-7 yard line, give it to Scatterboo twice, it's a touchdown. Real thick legs, excellent nose for the end zone, like a Jim Otis at Ohio State. Very good. So you got Gentry, and then Brooks and Scatterboo are good. Caleb Johnson, Iowa, 21 touchdowns, 130 yards a game, was very good. RJ Harvey of Central Florida, 1,500 yards, 22 touchdowns. I don't know enough about him as I do the other guys, but 1,500 yards, but, it was UCF. Bryson Daly, this is a very interesting one. If he's coming out of Army, I don't know. They're going to play those seniors. This guy got 32 touchdowns. He's the leader in the clubhouse. Gentry got 29. This guy's got a nose for the football. You could bring him in on 3rd and short. You could bring him on goal line, and he knows how to get the yards. He reminds me of Quentin Flowers from Central Florida. You cannot tackle this guy. 32 touchdowns for the Army. Go Army, beat Navy, as I say. 1,600 yards. Now, they run a lot, but still very good. 32 touchdowns. This guy you could bring in. Instead of this tush-push bullshit that Philly does, you got Bryson Daly. Just let him do an option, right? Is he going to give it to the fullback, or is he going to go outside? He'd score every time. You give him the ball at the 3-yard line, let's say. It's a touchdown 90% of the time. 32 touchdowns. Be creative. Take a guy like this. Now, he's a quarterback, not a running back. You're really not going to use him, but he was not a bad passer. Let's see. Kyle Managi from Rutgers, 13 touchdowns, 1,200 yards. Dylan Sampson, Tennessee. I like him a lot. Very strong back. 22 touchdowns in the SEC, playing Alabama, Georgia, and a host of others. 1,500 yards, 22 touchdowns. Absolutely a first-round pick. Let's see. Lou Monroe. Here's a 7th rounder for you. Ahmad Hardy from Lou Monroe, 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns. I don't know who to take this guy. Let's see. Devin Neal, outstanding first rounder from Kansas, 1,266 yards, 16 touchdowns in 12 games. 100 yards a game. Gave Colorado and Coach Prime all they wanted when Kansas beat up. This is an excellent running back. Knows how to get the yards. He knows how to find the openings. This guy's very good. Devin Neal, definitely late first round, early second round pick all day. You draft guys like this, you're going to have a good. You're going to get in the end zone in the red zone. Put it this way, and all over the place. They've got to play you honestly, which opens up your passing game. You must have balance. Actually, I'd love to see the Steelers get Devin Neal. That would be a with Aaron Rodgers. It'd be a nice fit. Let's see. Blake Horvath, the quarterback in Navy. I'm not. I prefer the Army quarterback. Let's see. Devin Dampier. He is very good out of New Mexico. 1,166 yards, 19 touchdowns for New fucking Mexico. Yeah, this guy's very good, Devin Dampier. I made a lot of money with that guy. Brazard Smith, SMU, 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns. They played 14 games. Not crazy about them. Let's see. Jordan James out of Oregon, 1,200 yards, 15 touchdowns. Certainly going to be fine. Anthony Hankerson, Oregon State, 1,100 yards, 15 touchdowns. I like the Oregon guy better. I think that's about it. Let's see. Where's the Utah guy? Micah Bernard from Utah, 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns. That's why they had a bad year at Utah. No running. Let's see. Yeah, that's about it. So those are your guys that you want to go. I just named you 15, 20 running backs that would be a lot of them in the first round. Gentry, Scatterboo, Johnson, and then most of the others are good, probably third, fourth rounders. And they would be very good running backs for your team. I think it's critical to get Gentry and or Scatterboo or Johnson. I think it's critical. Those are guys like Barkley that you all of a sudden you got an average quarterback like Jalen Hurts. You had him Barkley. Now it's balanced, and now you see. So instead of Carolina getting the back free agent, they'd have been better drafting one of these guys. Here's where you trade up. Chicago should trade up. Well, they probably have a top 10 pick. Let's see if there's a draft order here. So I'm handing it to you on a silver platter. Let's see. Mock draft. Notice how I haven't said Travis Hunter. So you got Tennessee with the first pick. I would not draft Cam Ward. Second pick, Cleveland, Abdul Carter, edge, Penn State. What is that? I don't know about that. The Giants are third. Now, I just gave you 15 running backs and another 10 quarterbacks, and you're going to draft Travis Hunter? And how many games are you going to win next year? 3? Oakland via New England. Oakland, you do not want to take Prime Jr. That's ridiculous. So Oakland can get a good running back. Maybe they should go after the Boise guy, Gentry, not Prime Jr. No. Prime Jr., 37 touchdowns, 10 picks, 4,000 yards for a passing offense when all they did was throw the ball 50 times a game. Jacksonville, God knows they need a running back. Maxim Graham, defensive line in Michigan, don't get it. New England from Oakland to Tori McMillan, wide receiver, Arizona, not in the 6th pick. Never draft a wide receiver in the 6th pick. No. See, they should go after Gentry here, not McMillan. That's a huge mistake taking McMillan. The JETSs, Armand Membo, offensive tackle, Missouri. Yeah, the Jets may not win a game. You got rid of Rodgers. You got Fields as your quarterback. You got a terrible coach. The defense probably sucks now, and you want to take an offensive tackle with the 7th pick. You want to waste your 7th pick on an offensive tackle. I don't think the Jets will win a game next year. Not if they get this guy. Carolina, Michael Williams, defensive lineman from Georgia. It's the first sensible pick. Why wouldn't the Jets want this guy? Carolina, but they still have one big problem. They still have Steve Young, and he ain't getting any better. New Orleans, Will Johnson, cornerback, Michigan. I don't get it. Well, New Orleans needs help, although they do have Kamara and Olave, and Carr's pretty good. But I wouldn't get a cornerback here. Who knows? Okay, the Bears are 10th. All right, no, you do not take Will Campbell, an offensive tackle from LSU. Everything else is there for Campbell to be a solid NFL tackle. Based on what? What the fuck are you talking about? With Darno Wright already in place on the right side, he and Campbell could be a tandem that keeps Caleb Williams. No, you're not winning with this. You do need a running back, however. You just picked up 3 offensive linemen in free agency, who none of them are any good. And here you've got a chance to take Gentry. No, you're not doing it. Okay. The Niners, Mike Green, edge from Marshall. I think he's pretty good, actually, for Marshall. The Niners, I don't know what they did. Is whatchamacallit, McCaffrey playing? I don't mind Purdy. Now you've lost Debo Samuel and Ayuk. Who's your receivers now? I think you still have your tight end. You're in big trouble there, San Francisco. And all the injuries. Greenlaw's gone, I think, too. Dallas, Derek Carmen, defensive lineman from Oregon. Seriously? You got to start Cooper Rush at quarterback, and you got CeeDee Lamb. You need a running back. Scatterboo, Gentry, what the fuck you doing? I don't get that. Miami, Malika Stark, safety from Georgia. The only thing saving him is he went to Georgia. They need help. They need a quarterback. They need some running backs, and they need a lot of defense, but not at safety. But okay, he's from Georgia. Indianapolis, Tyler Booker, guard from Alabama. It makes no sense. You need defense. You need a quarterback. You're in big fucking trouble, Indy. Atlanta, Jalen Walker, edge linebacker, Georgia. This is the 3rd Georgia guy we've come in contact with. I like it for Atlanta. You've got Penix. You've got Bijan Robinson at running back. You've got receivers. You maybe need an offensive lineman you can pick up in the 4th round. This is a good pick. Jalen Walker, edge linebacker from Georgia. Every team needs some Georgia defensive players on it. So they God knows they need defense for Penix. Arizona, Shermer Stewart, defensive line, A&M. Really? You got Scatterboo in your backyard. See, why do you draft Scatterboo, not Stewart? Because Scatterboo is a game changer. He can get you the first down. He can get you the touchdown. You're at the 5-yard line, give it to him. He can go around. He can do a sweep touchdown. What's Shermer Stewart going to do? Is he even going to make the team? You need help on defense, but you need help all over the place, starting with the coach. Cincinnati, Kenneth Grant from Michigan. Okay, I'll buy this. I'd prefer a Georgia guy, but God knows Cincinnati need defensive help. We'll see what they do with their stud, Hendrickson. But, yeah, if they can add Grant with Burrow and Chase, sign fucking Chase, and then you still need a running back, Cincinnati. But you should be able to get one in the 2nd round because I haven't seen one come off the board yet. The Seahawks, Tyler Warren, tight end, Penn State. I don't understand that. They have a tight end. They have DK Metcalf. The ball's going to DK Metcalf, not Tyler Warren. I don't really get it. I don't know who's running Seattle. The guy's got his head up his ass. He caught 88 receptions for 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, and then it says 191 yards and 4 touchdowns. I don't either he's got 1,062 or you got 191. Tampa Bay, Jihad Campbell, linebacker from Alabama. Okay, there's a mistake. It's got to come from Georgia. Iowa State, Notre Dame, Ohio State, not Alabama. Alabama let up, 30 points a game last year? Probably not going after linebackers from Alabama. They're never any good. Oh, here we go. Denver, Ashton Gentry, running back, Boise. With Bo Nix, I don't know who their receiver is. They got a pretty good defense. Yeah, they'll be able to beat Kansas City with Gentry because good luck keying on. If you don't key on him, he's going to kill you. If you do key on him, Nix is open to throw the ball. Pittsburgh, Jadir Barrett, cornerback from Texas. Really? I don't think so. Terrible draft. San Diego, Coastal Loveland, Michigan. Wow, that's a surprise. Harbaugh drafting a Michigan guy. You don't play Indiana, Purdue, and Illinois, Harbaugh. Loveland, I don't buy it. You could have had Brock Bowers if you wanted a tight end last year. You should go after wide receivers. I don't get it. Green Bay, Kelvin Banks, offensive tackle from Texas. Really? Oh, you're that good. I'm still not sure on Jordan Love. You have receivers out there, I guess. Yet the who killed you? Philadelphia beat you like 26-10. Yeah, I don't think you need an offensive guard there, fellas. Minnesota, Chavron Revel, cornerback from East Carolina. Really? You need a quarterback, Minnesota, or at least a good running back. I mean, there's too many good running backs to take Chevron Revel from East Carolina. You could take Chevron Revel from East Carolina or a player like him in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. First round, there's the Scatterboos, there's the Johnson from Iowa. You only have a few of those. You can still get the quarterback from Texas State and Northern Texas will be on the board. You can probably get them in the 2nd round, but you still need a quarterback. You don't have a quarterback. Houston, Amiki Guga from Ohio State. I know Houston needs a receiver. This ain't the one. These Ohio State guys never pan out. The Rams, Josh Connerly, offensive tackle, Oregon. I don't know. What do you need, Rams? If Stafford stays, you just picked up another receiver to go with Pukanuka, and you had some good defense. I would probably get a defensive guy over this guy. Who knows how good an offensive tackle from Oregon is? Yeah, how do they do against Ohio State there? 27, Baltimore, Donovan Jackson, O-lineman from Ohio State. All right. That ain't your problem, Baltimore. You need defense. Detroit, JT Tuamala, edge from Ohio State. What's with all the Ohio State guys? Ohio State had good defense. I don't think this guy's anything. There's something about the pairing of Tuma and Hutchinson that I like. Well, Hutchinson's not even going to be there. Tamula's a strong pocket rusher. Says who? Against who? Where was he in the Michigan game? Pocket pusher who is effective against the run and pass. Isn't always the sexiest player, but his strength, along with Hutchinson's quickness, who won't be there. Am McNeil on the inside would be a nightmare in the pocket for quarterbacks. Oh, really? It would be a nightmare? So you think this guy from Ohio State's any good, who I've never heard of? I'll have to watch the Michigan game to see if he's any good. That's how you judge these guys. I told you about Chase Young. In the Michigan game, he didn't even show up, and he sucks in the pros. He's a big flop, and I'll watch this guy I've never heard of, Tamulia. Washington Commanders, Hampton running back from the – really? Are you insane? A second running back enters the 1st round with Hampton getting drafted. Hampton is not your number 2 running back. Scatterboo would be. Hampton and Daniels would form a hellacious backfield in Washington that might allow the Commanders to make another deep playoff run next year. I strongly disagree with this pick. I don't know how good Hampton is. I would not be taking him. I would be taking, you need some defense. The kid from Mississippi, the kid from Tennessee. Most of the Georgia guys seem gone. I don't know, the Ohio State. And then you got Iowa. Who was the big stud defense? Penn State, but they never turned into anything in the pro. Well, Micah Parsons. You need defense, Washington. You don't need a running back. And you could get Scatterboo in the next round. I wouldn't waste it on Hampton, who really never heard of. And North Carolina. Okay. Let me check here. Let's go to North Carolina. Let me see. I am in my spreadsheet. Bear with me. North Carolina. Let's see. So North Carolina scored 32 a game, gave up 28. Good running back, Hampton. I got Criswell, terrible quarterback. They ran for 190 yards a game, threw for 223. And they were an over team because they had no defense. So I don't know. Certainly, I gave you 5 or 6 better running backs than this guy. His numbers were not that good, especially in the ACC where they were not that good. I think this guy's not all that. 1,600 yards, 15 touchdowns in the ACC. No, that's not very good. Buffalo, Nick Emmanuel, safety from South Carolina, terrible pick. Kansas City, Arante Ursi, O-lineman, Minnesota. Did I watch the Super Bowl? The Chiefs need offensive line help. Yeah, but not in the first round. They need wide receiver help. The running backs are okay. Philadelphia, Marcus Mebo, offensive line from Purdue. Are you serious? They need defensive help. They've lost 4 defensive players. They win with defense. They got Barkley. I don't smell what they're cooking here. Mbo has a chance to stay out at right tackle and be a Lane Johnson successor, or could bump inside to right guard. Okay, you're taking this guy in the first round? Wow. Patriots release, who cares? So that's your draft order. Where's Scatterboo in the first round? Where's Johnson in the first round? The kid from Iowa. Where are my quarterbacks in the first round from Texas State and North Texas? And you got Prime. This is the problem, right? Oh, we'll take Prime Junior. Yeah, how's that going to work out? Prime Junior is like taking Caleb, or it's like taking Fields. Nah, it doesn't work. That's why you don't take these guys. Anyway. So that's free agency and NFL draft for you, because we haven't talked football in a while, but it's coming up. The free agency, it really is meaningless. There's nobody that's going to help anybody. The Lions let a cornerback go and sign another cornerback. It doesn't matter. They don't have a defensive coordinator. Their defense sucks, and it's not going to get any better by signing a guy I've never heard of as your cornerback. What are you going to do with him? You need like a Stone Cold Steve Austin, a Rock. You need players like that. You need stars, not Hillbilly Jim. Jim the Anvil Neidhart, he would have been a good defensive lineman. I firmly believe that. Let's see. So the key is getting the running back, and really don't go. There's no receiver to go after in the first round. Maybe not the second round. Nobody really good out there. Certainly the Colorado guy, the cornerback, wide receiver, if you draft him in the first round, you're a fool. And then you got to see what you got. You still got Steve Young, and you still think what he had a few good games against weak teams last year. Forget about him. And then you have, you need, the Niners need defense. San Diego, I don't know. They let Joey Bosa go. I don't know who he's got at defensive end with Khalil Mack, who's not happy there either. He needs running backs, and he needs a coach. He's not a very good coach. I don't know. Pittsburgh looks like they're getting old with TJ Watt, and Houston has a very good defense. God knows they need running backs, receivers, quarterbacks. A lot of these teams need quarterbacks and don't realize it because they don't understand. They think they're on the rookie deal, so we'll keep this guy who sucks. That's what Minnesota's doing. J.J. McCarthy. Well, he's not any good, but he's on the rookie deal, so he's cheap. He allows us to buy other players. But as they saw, to beat the Lions, they needed a good quarterback, and their defense sucked anyway. And then to beat Philadelphia, they lost to the Rams in the first round. They got killed by them. I mean, so it was the quarterback not reading. It was whose fault is it? The offensive lineman, the offensive coordinator, or the quarterback that couldn't read a blitz? My guess is the quarterback and the offensive coordinator. Not having a screen package, really, in the NFL, you don't have a screen or a quick Wesley Walker going across the middle. You've got to have a blitz package when you're getting blitzed, and they clearly didn't. Darnold missed 2 easy touchdowns to Jefferson, and then somebody in Seattle signs him. What are you expecting to happen, Seattle? I asked the same question to my friend who's got the 401k. Okay, you have a $500,000 401k. What do you expect to happen? Do you expect it to go to 1,000 or to go to 0? Because in this economy, you're not going from 500 to 1,000. You're going down, right? So that's where we're at. Again, prices are set by us, not the producer. They can raise their price, Toyota Camry, but nobody's going to buy it. It doesn't matter. So as long as you don't overpay for things, fuck it. I don't need a car now, and I'm certainly not going to pay $35,000 for a car I paid $24,000 for. So you can't. And he ended up lowering it to 26, I believe, because I told him what to do. Anyway, I did apply it at the gym. They had, what are these called? Workshops. I don't know why I'm struggling with that word. So I saw a workshop yesterday for women's defense. I guess some form of karate or something. So I go to the front desk. I said, can I do one on economics? Because that's exactly what I'm looking to do as a workshop. I can charge, I put down $45 for an hour for class, and they would help me. I'd have to pay them a certain percent, and then they would help me get it, market it, and then I'd have the room, and it would be perfect. And for an hour, I could talk for an hour with my eyes closed. So we'll see what happens if they can do it. And but it looks like they'll I'll pay them a percentage of what I get. Now, this will help. Is there a market for it? I believe there is. We will see. But maybe there's not. I don't know. Maybe I just do it here. But we'll see. That's really what I wanted to do is workshops, right? I didn't know what it was called. I guess adult education, or as opposed to going to college and teaching a college class. Although that might be another option, but I'd like the workshop because I could do 5-10 workshops. I could do them every day. I could do them, in an hour. I can still do this, no problem. And I'd much rather do that than actually have a job where you got to kiss ass and go, well, the guy's from Brazil. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Or he's Indian. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. They can't communicate. They can't speak English. This is the problem with the US jobs now is you're bringing in all these foreigners to do things and they can't manage. They don't know how to treat Americans. They don't know how to communicate to it. I don't know if they understand expectations. Oh, you'll walk in, you work 4 years in Mercedes, you'll just walk in and know what to do. No, I don't know what to do. You have to explain it to me what exactly you want and how you want me to do it. Because what they had me do was try to do a budget where everybody was is now we're in other places are now here. I go, it's a meaningless budget. We don't know what they did it. The variables change too much. It's like going from Chicago to Minnesota. I can't use your trend analysis. It doesn't mean anything. You got different players. You got different responsibilities. I can't use last year's thing. No, you just take what's our budget this year, and you got three heads. That's your budget. Your heads and your salary. That's it. Your salaries and your fringes and your travel, if you have any. That's it. That's all. That's your expenses. And but he didn't get that. So what am I going to do? I can't just do something. Hmm. All right. Anything else? What do we got? Let's take a look what's going on in our gold and in our stocks. I love these mock drafts. They're so stupid. Are we at 3,029.80? We were 29.83 10 minutes ago. 29.80, silver 33.75. So for all you $33 silver guys, you said that's it. That's what we needed. So we got 33.75. I'm glad I bought my 10 ounces at 32. Now will it stick? Will we finally get 35, 40, 50, 100? I love when these guys make predictions. Well, it'll get up to 40. What kind of prediction is that? You don't understand anything if you're predicting 40. If it breaks away from derivatives comex, it's going to go to 100. It's not going to stop at 40. And just like gold's not going to stop at 3,000. There's too much demand. There's not enough supply. It's going to go much higher. Oop, 29.81. Go, boys, go. We might see 3,000 today. And keep in mind, when it crosses 3,000, we need it to end at 3,005. Then it's 3,100 maybe tomorrow, on its way to 3,500. And everybody will realize the Titanic is sunk. And then what we're looking for and waiting for is the frenzy. We know the boat's sinking. We know the dollar is sunk. We have to get on the lifeboat, gold and silver. And that's all it is. I'm starting to hear lifeboat a little bit more on these people stealing my ideas. That's the frenzy we're banking on to get to $30,000, $40,000 an ounce. Because once people realize, and this is all over the world, that everybody's fucked, once they realize it, you have no option. You go into gold, you go into silver. And the rich guys, like the Warren Buffets, are too stupid to understand it. They'll be in cash waiting to buy houses cheap, but they'll be using monopoly money for it, which won't have a value. I don't know what Trump's doing. If he's trying to kill it, I think he wants to go gold. Maybe he realizes he's got to kill it. The tariffs, everybody knows, is a terrible idea. It drives up cost. Doesn't drive up prices, drives up cost. And we will see. But anyway, so again, it's up $41, and we get 48 cents in silver. That's what always amazes me. Well, silver will go up twice as fast as gold. Yeah, and what reality are you talking about? Twice as fast. You're lucky to get silver to 35, and you get gold up $40. Yeah, tell me about twice. That means silver should be up $80 today. Yeah, I don't see that. But at least silver is holding above 33, and I think that's where it's going. I think they're taking delivery of the stuff they don't have, and I think the banks are all worried about covering the derivatives with physical that they don't have and can't get. My theory right now is there is no gold and silver to get. It's gone. 200,000 tons of gold is gone. Just go to China and Russia, India, Saudi Arabia, UAE, South Africa, Brazil. They got it all. Right? There's only 200,000 tons. We know China's got 80,000 of them, and Russia's got, I would imagine, 30, and then 30 for India, probably another 20, 25 for Saudi Arabia. They got tons of money. So you've taken off what, 80, 110, 140. You've probably taken 150,000 tons off the market in the BRICS countries. Not only these are 50,000 tons, that's not a lot. And then that's all the other central banks, Poland, Czechoslovakia, Romania, and all these other countries who are trying to join BRICS need gold. And so that's what they'll do. Eventually, I think what will happen is the other countries joining BRICS will just go to China and say, well, we need, give me 10, well, give me 100 tons of it. You got 80,000, give me 1,000 tons. And they're going to have to pay 10,000 an ounce. And so China will play banker. And as these countries join BRICS, they'll need gold because that's what the currency is going to be, is gold-backed currency. And so they'll need gold to trade in. That's the whole, BRICS is like a trading conglomerate. So anyway, there we go. So let's hope for $35 silver on its way to 40, and then we can all start making money, and Luke can get happy. And gold, we got to see very close to 3,000, gets us much closer to 3,500, and it'll just keep going because people need gold. And the thing is, it's not like profit taking. This is gold. This isn't stocks. So if IBM went from 100 to 150, you might profit take it, right? But in this situation, there's no profit taking because if you sell your gold, you're back on the Titanic. You're back in this shit, which you don't want to be in. You don't want to be in monopoly money. So you don't sell your gold to get into this. You might sell an ounce to go on a trip, but you're not, if you got some serious bars, you're not selling it for this. You don't want to get back into that. Somebody asked me that yesterday. Well, what are you going to sell it for? And I says, you don't understand. Gold becomes the money. Or we'll wait for BRICS gold-backed currency and we'll sell it for gold-backed currency. But you don't want to give it away for monopoly money. Like I said, unless it's critical that you have to, you're not going to go. You're not going to do that. So we're seeing really good news today. 29.81 gold, 33.75 silver. Looks good. Any other questions, comments on anything? Economics, football, poker, gambling, stoic. I'm trying. I have so many subjects. I can't think of them. Anyway, I think that's it then. I'll wait. I'll give you another minute. Any questions? All right. So I think that's it. I have a little to eat, and then I'm off to the pool. My afternoon thing. It's really good for your brain, the pool, because your mind, you want your mind think. It's like exercise. If you've broken a leg, your calf muscle goes to atrophy. You don't have a muscle. You got to work it back in. That's the problem when you get injured. You don't use it, and then you can't just start using it. And so with running in the pool and swimming, it uses your mind, so you're less apt to get Alzheimer's and stuff like that. I was really disappointed. I'm watching season 8, Jack Bauer 24, and so I watched the first 5 discs, and now I'm at the last 4 hours, and I want to see him kill whatchamacallit, the guy we all hate, the president, and uh, the disc is chipped, and I can't watch it. It's like I see a little like where it's cracked, so the disc cracked. So I went to the guy I bought it with, saying, "Hey, do you have another 6 disc? Otherwise, I'll have to buy it again for $7. I can't believe I need one fucking disc, but I don't see it at the used CD store. They have 24, but I haven't seen season 8. It's mostly season 1 and 2. Season 1 was terrible, although it did have the coolest first 5 minutes where the girl jumps out of the plane. That was a good way to start, but I found it was not really too much dicking around with his wife and Kim and the guy's compound. I was like, yeah, okay, forget about it. I got season 2, and then season 3, I didn't like the bad guy, and then I got the rest. Anyway, so I'll turn on 7 now, and I'll probably just buy season 8 again for $6-7. It's worth it. I got to see the last episode. I was so I don't know if I did it or it was like that, because I put it in, and then I said, no, I'm going to watch the Batman movie. So I took it out, but I don't think I did anything. I think I just took it out. So it might have been like that when it came, unfortunately. I don't want to give the guy a negative, but on the other hand, I'm waiting for his response to honor the to make it right, as you should have. Anyway. I may email you later. Okay, Prophet. Have you seen Breaking Bad? No, I have no desire to watch that. I don't like the star of the show. So no, I haven't. We will see. I don't know what it's about. I don't really have much desire for it. But I don't know the plot, but I don't like it's like the guy from Gladiator, the first one, who plays the evil guy who kills Marcus Aurelius. I got a bitter taste in my mouth right off the bat. He killed Marcus Aurelius, Commodus, and I will not watch any movie with this clown in it. I don't like him, and you know. And Alyssa goes, "Well, he's a good actor then." I go, "No. I don't like him. He's a bad actor. He should have been likable. That's the good Sean Connery we liked in any role he did, because we liked him." And but some of these guys, when you don't like them, I don't want to watch them. So he did the Joker. I have no desire. I will not watch the Joker because I can't watch this guy. And that's the problem. He's a good actor. No, he's a bad actor because you don't like him. He could have played it where you liked him. The other guy on Netflix, they had a Roman Empire, plays Commodus. I don't mind the guy. He wasn't as bad as the guy in Gladiator. Probably the way they did the Gladiator movie, which was not consistent with what happened in the Roman Empire. He didn't kill him like that. The guy died of natural diseases. And I think he did do the games, but I don't. It was a totally different story. It was all bullshit. The Gladiator movie. There was no Marcus Aurelius, or the Russell Crowe character wasn't. There was no Russell Crowe character. So anyway, I just can't watch it. But no loss. I can't. I mean, he's too bad of an actor. And he's not likable. He's not a likable guy. Some people are likable, and they're just not likable. The ones that aren't likable, you can't watch. And with that, I will bid you a fond farewell. I will see you tomorrow. Let's hunt for a $3,000 or 29.82, I think. Silver, we want silver to end at 34 today, and we want it to end at 35 tomorrow. We can get a $35 silver, which is doable. If it's blown up, it's very doable because the demand's high, and they got to pay off their derivatives. Again, July 1st is the date, but they got to start buying it now. And the same with gold. They got to pay off the derivatives, which are, it's all paper, but they all took physical delivery, so they got to find the gold, which they can't find. So good luck finding the gold. And here's Trump doing what, Bitcoin? That isn't even real. It's digital gold. When I hear Trump say it's digital gold, I realize he's clueless, and I realize the Ponzi scheme in Bitcoin. So please don't get into Bitcoin. It's a Ponzi scheme. It must be the way to make money to balance his budget. You're not paying down the $37 trillion debt. You need a much higher gold, but since you have no gold in your Fort Knox, it doesn't matter. I was watching something yesterday that said that there's only 0.04% of the gold in Fort Knox. So it's maybe 50 tons of gold, not 8,000 in Fort Knox. So anyway, that's about it. So have a nice day, everybody. Enjoy, relax. www.teaserking.com. Have a look. If you want to email me questions, what's going on in the markets, what's going on. Should I buy a stock? No. Buy your gold and silver. Not, sorry, Pat, but not palladium or platinum. Platinum. It's not money like gold and silver. So why do you want to? We want gold and silver because we're going to use it as money. And when people get out, people are going to go to the gold and silver. They're not going to platinum. There's no demand like there is for gold and silver because you realize, I want to sell my euro. Well, what do I get into? Oh, gold and silver, not platinum. Platinum is not money, so you don't really want to be in it. So take that, and I will talk to you tomorrow. All right, have a nice day. Again, you can email me at teaserking.com. Go to the homepage. All right, everybody, take care.